It's been a hell of a week for Canadians on the internet. First that stupid video by an alleged comedian, and now a superhero in trouble. Following the arrest of young Ahmed Mohamed in Texas for the crime of clock-making, social media exploded with a lot of nasty comments about the Lone Star State, which the star of TV's Arrow, Stephen Amell, responded to. Stereotyping Texas isn't any better than stereotyping Ahmed, just so we're clear. Well, the message seemed clear to me. Stereotyping is wrong. But no! The perpetually offended left-wing nuts on Twitter accused Amell of being a racist, denying the experience of people of color, supporting white supremacy, and defending the actions of the school. What the fuck? Let's look at this again. Where did he say any of that? Notice that he didn't even say stereotyping Texas was as harmful as stereotyping Ahmed, just that it's not any better. Then he went on to clarify himself in another series of tweets, mentioning that his wife and in-laws are from Texas. Didn't matter. The net had already heard him, or heard what they wanted to. The problem with these so-called social justice warriors is that, as Abe Maslow said, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Maslow. Google it. The headline on Perez Hilton's website: Arrow star Stephen Amell blasted for comments about Muslim teenager arrested for homemade clock. No, he didn't make any comments about the Muslim teenager. He made comments about the problems of stereotyping. But with this case, any expression that wasn't outright support for the presumption of racism was evidence of racism. Dear social justice types, are you all fucking nuts? All Amell said, in the words of the teacher on South Park, is, stereotyping's bad, okay? Apparently, among the loony left, there is good stereotyping and bad stereotyping. Bad stereotyping is anything that results in disadvantage or worse for minority groups or people of color. Good stereotyping is anything that makes anyone with white skin responsible for anything bad that does or ever has caused disadvantage or worse to minority groups or people of color. Well, you know what? Fuck that! Is there reason to suspect that racism among school officials and police was a factor in Ahmed's arrest? Sure, but suspicion isn't a statement of fact. Remember Jack Webb on Dragnet. The facts, ma'am, just the facts. And the facts are, we don't know. Oh, I forgot. Jack Webb's an old dead white man, so his views are racist, colonial, and oppressive. Besides racism, there's another factor at play here: the zero-tolerance policies that have spread among America's schools. This is how school officials have been trained to respond to the slightest suggestion of wrongdoing. You want a good business to go into? Try selling underwear to school administration, because there are numerous stories of teachers and principals crapping their pants over absolutely nothing. Kids have been suspended or arrested for spraying perfume, doodling. One kid got tasered 5 times over an argument with the cafeteria lady. A 6-year-old boy accidentally brushed a female playmate's groin during a game of tag and was arrested for sexual battery. Another 6-year-old charged with sexual harassment for kissing a girl on the hand, and an 11-year-old girl was handcuffed and arrested for bringing a butter knife with her lunch to cut a pear. The problem in all these cases wasn't racism, it was school officials complying with zero-tolerance policies. I support zero tolerance for stupidity. Would a white boy showing a homemade clock be suspected of villainy? Very likely, since mass school violence has been the province of disaffected white kids. Just like serial killers, they're largely one of America's last big white-only clubs. If I was a teacher, statistically, white kids would scare the crap out of me more than anyone. But that's called profiling and a topic for another day. The point is, the rush to insist that Ahmed's arrest was racial in nature is, in itself, prejudging people's actions based on the color of their skin. Some would call that reverse racism. I wouldn't. There is no such thing as reverse racism. There's just racism. Some groups are more affected by it than others, but the mindset is one size fits all. So is it fair to guess the school's motivations in the context of a problem with systemic prejudice in the Texas legal system? Well, I'd say yes. But it's not right to judge a black or Latino man's motives based on the context of him coming from a high crime area. So, no. Clearly, a sock puppet on an internet show doesn't have all the answers. I know. I'll give you a second to absorb that. What I do know is that we're never going to get a dialogue about racism or anything else important if people of goodwill are shouted down. Come on, it's Stephen Amell. He's frickin' Green Arrow. And you made him apologize for your own innate prejudices and chased him off Twitter. Then again, the latter part may be a good thing, since as Stephen has discovered, Twitter's full of assholes. I'm Ed the Sark. Do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button. You won't be sorry. And even if you are, what the hell do I care?